Wait, how am I supposed to get Piero's key if I was supposed to go see Piero. Oh. Wow. This whole thing is just open. Okay. What up, Piero, bro?
I'll be crafting your weapons and gear. All custom work. For you, I will create the tools and master set.
Is this guy okay?
No! This cannot happen now that whale oil is running. Will you get a new tank from upstairs, please, while I hold this in place? Be careful.
Yeah, I'll get it eventually. As from serious newspaper articles from prominent natural philosophers by Piero Joplin. It is though no fault of my own that the average citizen has expressed a preference for Sokolov's elixir over my own formula, sold as Piero's remedy, a name I did not choose if you must know the truth. The public has spoken. It is its usual message of idiocy, spending their coin as a means of selecting Sokolov's formula over mine, which I believe to be equal if not superior. Much has been made over the popularity of these concoctions as a means of resisting this remarkable new plague. I say remarkable because this strain works with an efficiency we have not seen in the history of the Empire. This plague, now making its way through the city of Dunwall, has unrivaled its effectiveness. I have studied it with the blood of those afflicted, and it's nearly perfect. Elegant, in fact. And while it is true that Piero's remedy and Sokolov's elixir are known to protect the body against the plague equally, my own has properties not fully understood, which relate to the mind itself and the spirit. And it is in this way that my formula wins out. Here is where one should pay attention to this contrast, for you see, Sokolov's elixir, with its emphasis on the brute animal body, is a crass go better suited for livestock. The subtle and secret variants and the key ingredients making up Piero's remedy ensure that it works on higher functions that separate humankind from the mindless blue-jawed half-fish swimming in the Wrenheaven River. Alright. There's a little bit of a banter back and forth between these two scientists. Piero's request is denied. Piero: no, I will not sign off on these purchases. A bag of powdered crystal, Trivian ore. What's wrong with the metals in crystal? King Sparrow feathers? If you need feathers, sacrifice your own pillow. Maybe at the academy, everything you needed was paid off by tariff and handed out willy-nilly, but this is my bar. Or what's left of it. And we're operating on a budget. We're running low on oil, food, elixir, building materials, and everything else. So you've got to slow down. While I'm footing the bill, I will not approve your purchases unless they're absolutely required. No more copper wire or special herbs. If you need those things, go out and scavenge them. Half the city's in ruins, so no one's gonna miss any of the old crap you seem to need. Alright. Well.
When it explodes, there's a terrible mess.
Do you want me to hurry up? Alright, I'll rush. Don't worry. Eventually. Ooh, I got a map. Alright, let's go upstairs.
Astonishing.
You like me throwing stuff? Interesting. Excerpt from the notes of a natural philosopher aboard a whaling ship. Remarkably, each specimen I had the pleasure of studying during the voyage possessed some minor variance in physiology. On the second leg of the trip, east of Tivia, the crew hauled aboard a female, some 42 inches or 42 feet? Probably feet. I estimate she weighed 35 tons, and the ship sat low, rocking side to side through the night with her thrashing. By candlelight, I took her apart, sketching and taking notes against her billowing. I cut into the massive tentacles around her mouth. Within I found a row upon teeth and a baleen running along the upper jaw. What the fuck is this? Tentacles in a mouth? Is this a whale or is this a fucking a squid? Why are there tentacles around the mouth? And then also a baleen. Through its broom-like structure, I assumed to filter food from the water that was too small to be chewed. I'm so confused. And no, that's not how baleen works. Baleen works like the whale absorbs a whole bunch of water, and then it pushes like all the water out through the baleen, which is a filter, but it basically filters the water out and keeps all the solid stuff in so that they can eat it. Anyway. Commissioned by the Lord Regent, the fate of growing plague crisis, a dead counter is a position that will only be given to officers, usually of junior or middle grades, in most matters of edict or curfew enforcement. These officers will defer to the acting officer on duty. However, any dead counter will have command in situations related to the plague and the handling of the dead, including those with late-stage plague signal called weepers in the common parlance. Starting in the month of rain, interested officers may apply for the test and, if accepted, for the 2-week training tour. Pay will be administered in coin and rations for elixir at 1 1/2 normal pay grade. Okay. Failed experiments. Of course, I have attempted to improve upon Sokolov's designs. Of course, and why not? After all, it's likely that his thinking was influenced in some small way by our time together at the Academy. We are all part of a community, striving to unknot the mysteries of the cosmos. Even those among us who possess the greatest of minds are often led to a fruitful line of consideration by, how does one say it, our intellectual subordinates. Sokolov is no exception to this, despite the glamour of genius that he has cast over the aristocracy. And further, it is true that many of my experiments have failed. No need to gossip about it behind my back in your social clubs and in the very chambers of Academy itself. Great ambition requires risks. You may laugh now at my door to nowhere, but someday you will not. Your children will likely see it as commonly as you see the electric lamps lighting our streets at night. But a few years ago, you would have laughed at Sokolov's arc, pylon, or wall of light. Your laughter, your condescending smiles, they are nothing but evidence of your own limited imagination. Alright then. So that was a whale vivisection, supposedly, but it had tentacles in its mouth, so... Sokolov no longer has the upper hand with regard to supplies of whale oil. The good admiral has paid for the installation of my own system, which will enable me to work in this place. The oil tank dispenser, when activated, will produce an empty vessel for filling. When the empty tank is held near the oil tank to refill the pump, the magnetic extractor should take the tank and lock it in the correct configuration, using the lever to begin the refilling process. Once refilling is completed, the tank can be removed and placed in service. Extreme caution must be used in handling the full tanks. They are quite unstable. The system is sound and well engineered. It appears that Greaves Oil Company has done something correctly for once. Alright, by Ebenezer Greaves. What a fucking beautiful name, Ebenezer. Ebenezer Scrooge! Out at sea, they secure the beast with hooks, with lines cast from the main ship and from several smaller boats. Buoys keep it away from diving deep. Once it's caught, a larger hook is driven through the tail, which is used to hoist the creature up through the chute. They moan and bellow for some time as the men get them onto the deck, then lift them onto the scaffolding overhead. The ship adjusts its prow and returns in port to Dunwall, where the crew works with the great creature slicing off the furriest parts while it still lives. That sounds horrible. Why are they doing that?
The Academy teaches that absurd idea that the energy in whale oil arises from the need to maintain life functions at extreme ocean depths. The pressure and the cold are too much to endure without it. I speculate that a human being might, by a process of adaptation, produce high-energy humors.
Humors? Liquids?
I could build a tank that would slowly increase
oh no.
subject over a long period.
That would kill them.
And observe them for years if need be, to see if the formulation of energetic substance is developed. Sure, the Empress would be able to furnish me with facilities subject to the necessary legal amnesty.
That sounds like torture to me, but I don't know, man. Empty tank required? Oh, wow.
Unexpected.
I got you, bro.
That one is empty. A new tank.
Oh. I see.
Why would you do this?
Did I just land on him?
Thank you.
Poor guy, dude.
Here, see? The assassin's mask. You're a wanted man, so everyone in the city knows your face. But this mask is terror to you. You just
What's up there?
still fit.
Oh, what? Ooh, ah.
There.
Oh,
Can you see normally?
not really.
Lens out of the line.
Oh,
There. Better now?
no.
I could create more for
Still funky looking.
upgrades for your gear, weapons, munitions. But our situation here is desperate. Scavenge the city for valuables.
Oh, there you go.
Resell them on the black market. That
I can
should
see
give us
now.
the money to craft the things you need.
Okay. Sounds
What I can
good.
make for you.
Yes, I'll have a look. Oh, look at that. You can make crossbow bolts. You can make sleep bolts, bullets, spring razor. Traps that can be placed nearly any surface. Rewire tool allows you to rewire circuitry and turn circuitry systems to your advantage. Grenade. Alright. Neat.
You must be exhausted. I advise that you get some sleep. Your life will get even more difficult soon.
Okay.
You should rest while you can.
I'll try to rest, sir. Hold on, I want to look around first.
You know best.
So do I have to come to you before I go to sleep? Huh. Interesting. Piero can craft any upgraded gear with the money you collect. Bringing collected blueprints to Piero will allow you to collect new upgrades to buy. These services can be accessed by talking to Piero anytime. Okay. Alright, let's freaking parkour this shit. This is where I fell earlier, right? There you go. This is the way that I went. Yeah, this is closed, but I can climb up here, go this way, go this way, this way. Huh. Interesting. Alright, so let's go back over here. This is where we died, right? Oh, is that money? Nice. I don't think I looked at whatever the hell's in here. My stomach twisted as the engines of the odd vessel roared and roared louder. It was the creation of Arcado, the third perfect form, the Academy of Natural Philosophy. He was accelerated, savoring each of the small craft's undulation. Arcado pulled a lever, and a great gout of smoke surrounded us. The smell of burning whale oil grew unbearable as the machine propelled itself upward. I was too afraid to look through the window, which suddenly didn't feel thick enough, as if, knowing my thoughts, Overseer Bryn looked at me and smiled. Recite some of the litany, my pupil. It will protect your heart from the turpitude of the void on our way to the outer spheres. What the fuck did I just read? Alright, read them so that, like, they are in this dude's memory. Can't really see much of anything. That looks like a pretty bad fall, so let's not go that way. Yeah. Let's skedaddle. Dude, my eye suddenly started hurting, and I don't know why. Jesus Christ. What the hell? Looks like a sharp pain. Corvo's bed. The fuck is this? Corvo's chambers. What the fuck am I? Who are you?
The Admiral served in the Navy under the Empress. But something happened with the Lord Regent that drove the Admiral out. If I understand it right. Admiral Havelock made it very clear that we aren't to carry lamps outside.
Lamps.
Please follow me to your quarters.
How about I don't?
Maybe you haven't seen much of it, but the city has changed a great deal after the Empress died. Since the Lord Regent took over, the city watch is best avoided. Most people try not to go outside at all.
Ooh, money.
Pleased to meet you, Master Corvo. I saw you at court in happier days. But
Okay.
you might not remember. I was once a close ally to the Lord Regent, Hiram Burroughs.
Hiram
Back when he was
Burroughs?
just the spy master. He's one manipulative.
Am I supposed to remember these names? It's a lot of names.
There's something distinguished about you, Corvo. Was there nobility back in your family line? I wouldn't be surprised.
That is such a freaking horrible insult.
Did you know I'm distant kin to the late Empress and her line? Not close enough, sadly. I'll never be emperor.
Interesting.
Most of the nobility went straight over to the Lord Regent's side after the Empress died. Easiest thing to do. But to me, a noble birth requires a sense of loyalty.
That's nice.
This city has fallen into ruin since the plague struck. These poor weepers moaning and bleeding from...
Bleeding from their eyes.
There's something
Okay.
more for the plague once it advances that far. Terrible.
Oh, he doesn't want to talk to me anymore. Alright, I'm gonna listen to you.
Furnishings have been installed at last with no small amount of complaining by that antiquated book. The others have no idea what it's like to suffer as I have. Speaking of which, Wallace, please breathe 2 bottles of Dunwall Red, never mind which. Fetch a clean glass. Well, I'll begin again tomorrow.
Interesting. I'll close your door for you. Alright, what's over here?
Dangerous?
Extra from a book of sea shanties sung by sailor. What will we do with drunken whaler? What will we do with a drunken whaler? What will we do with a drunken whaler? Early in the morning, feed him to the hungry rats for dinner. Feed him to the hungry rats for dinner. Feed him to the hungry rats for dinner. Early in the morning, way hey and up she rises. Way hey and up she rises. See, I don't know how that would be. Way hey and up she rises. Way hey and up she rises. Early in the morning, slice his throat with a rusty cleaver. Slice his throat with a rusty cleaver. That sounds beautiful. Stuff him in a sack and throw him over. Stuff him in a sack and throw him over. Stuff him in a sack and throw him over. Early in the morning. See, but then the way hey and up she rises. Way hey and up she rises. Way hey and up she rises. Early in the morning. Figured it out. Figured out how the song goes. Pretty easy.
Attention all citizens.
Who there?
Curfew extends from...
Mine? You must...
And I say to you, brothers, it is here that we make our stand as a righteous force against the growing darkness. It is here that we unite against the spirits of the unknown that would drag us screaming into the night, never to return to our homes, to our families. Together we will serve as a rod to those who would stray from the herd. The foggy gray wastes of the outsider. We will burn a bright fire with our virtuous actions so that others will not lose their way. And to those who choose to wander beyond the walls of our homes, in far places we will strike out at them swiftly before they whisper to their neighbors, filling their hearts with strangeness and doubt. Alright, that was weird.
I am Lydia.
Hi, Lydia.
Service. Your room is upstairs and ready. When they told me who it was, well, I thought you'd be older, like the Admiral.
So does that mean I'm young? Get on my way, lady. Ooh, a washroom. Need money. Oh my god, there's so many freaking bucks. Alright, the shadow of Bitterleaf. Finding my way by the feeble light of the dying fire, I saw her working. A large needle moved in her hand, following precise, esoteric patterns, knots and loops of seamstress craft from ancient days. Beneath her needle, his body clenched and shuddered, shaking the wooden table. A morbid fascination pushed me closer, until she turned her blank face toward me, resting the needle in his flesh. With a refined tone, she addressed me. So, you are the lover, I presume. You, too, have been unfaithful, and it is now your turn to be mended. What the fuck? Creepy. The Young Prince of Tigwin. Excerpt from a theater play. Lord Nathan Bulge. Oh, is this Bale? Jesus, I can't read. Lord Nathan Bale is shaking with outrage. How dare you, sir? Clothed so in my very home, I should hand you over to the watch. Depraved Tivian. Prince Callister moving closer. That's a harsh welcome for royalty, my lord. Your daughter treated me with much more hospitality. Alas! She has gone out for the evening, leaving me all alone. Lord Nathan Bale stammering, studying the younger man before him. What are you doing? Leave this house. Go back to your frozen wasteland, pale rascal. Prince Callister, smiling coyly, reaching out. No need for anger between us. Lord Boyle, is it so wrong for me to be here? As I've proven, I've developed an affinity for you and your family. That's creepy. Oh my, Callister, your skin is so warm it burns. What? Huh? Okay. Are they gay for each other? Is that what's happening? That's kind of what I got from that. I turned the water on. Ooh, another story. Is this a toilet? Yeah, gotta close the toilet, man. Excerpt from the travel journal of a whaler in his final years. Agatha's Tale, Volume 2, Agatha's Final Passage. After more than a quarter of a century, I am done with whaling, too broken to continue. I've seen all the oil corners of the isles and made more coin than most men see a lifetime. But it's all gone. I've lived through an emperor and watched his daughter take the throne. Very young empress she was, but slain so young. Everything beautiful comes to die. I've eaten in every port of the known world and soiled in the loneliest waters you can imagine. I've seen the cliffs around Parisia. Even the best of it doesn't give me an ounce of joy. The years come back across my dreams as a line of butchered bodies, long, sleek, and singing among the waves under the moonlight, only to be splared by ugly, weathered, scared men who knife each other for a good pair of boots. Each year, I had less time to come home. My tongue forgot the language of small chatter, and those who lived in the cities thought me odd. My sister Nina hardly knew what to say to me during our visits. When she lost her business to the region's crooked barrister, I was 100 miles east of Burley. Gaff! God, frozen from the sleet as we tracked the first bull whale we'd seen in months. I helped her as much as I could, but Nina died in the early days of the plague. None of it mattered. If I'm jaded and bitter, it's because this industry has taken away my dreams. The world has beaten me. Okay then. Well, I have read all the stories that are here in the bathroom, and I will exit. What's this? I'll go here later. What's over here?
Attention, citizens of Dunwall. The old port district has been
Nice.
to the evacuation.
Gaffer's Tale, Volume 1. Gaffer's Tale, Volume 1. Gaffer's Early Adventures. My sister Nina and I left Tivia together, saying goodbye to her aunt. The woman who had raised us in childhood. I'm guessing the same guy, right? Leaving behind our home city of Giara and the cold but beautiful white landscapes we had always known. We boarded a ship from Dunwall. Our parents had left us with a small, sizable inheritance, and we spent half of this getting to the capital city and establishing a small import shop dedicated to Tivian furs. Once I'd helped Nina establish the business, I was free to pursue my dreams. Singing on a whaling ship was the most exciting thing I'd ever done, and I saw it as a means to an end. Someday I would captain my own crew, and eventually a fleet of similar vessels with tears in her eyes. Nina kissed me farewell, and I did not see her again for many months. As an apprentice to the gaffer, I got to see the tracking and killing of the great beast up so close. Nothing had ever fired my spirit so, and the wind and pounding waves racing after a wounded whale, being pulled by skein of cables embedded in its thick flesh. I changed more in those first 7 months than I had in previous 7 years. Whaling was beginning to put its mark on me so that Nina barely recognized me when I returned. Tanned and sinewy with muscle, weather crease already wrinkling the corner of my eyes, but she would see that I was filled with joy, having found my purpose. Oh, that's so sad.
The Weaver